영국 출신 학생이 온라인을 통해 한국 역사와 문화유산을 영어로 알렸습니다. 우리 역사를 바로잡는 사이버 NGO 단체 반크를 통해서인데요. 우리나라를 세계에 알리는 이유는 무엇일지 직접 만나보시죠.
안녕하세요. 저는 영국에서 온 24살 카즈라고 합니다. I came to Korea because I want to prepare for going to a Korean postgraduate school. There I want to study international relations, and I think Korea is one of the best places to study that. It was when I was studying abroad in Japan, I was in an area that had a lot of Korean international students as well. So because we all stayed in the same dormitory, a lot of my friends were Koreans. And after a while I wanted to understand more about them and their culture, because I was living in Japan, I was understanding Japanese culture, but I wanted to know more about them, so I decided to start learning Korean and research Korean culture, and since then I just became really interested in it. I think it's the long and varied history of Korea, especially like the Shilla dynasty. And Shilla lasted for almost 1,000 years, and so much development happened during that time. And I think that's such a special charm of Korean culture, because it's quite uncommon in my opinion. I've always been interested in older history, in any part. Anything with ancient in front of it, I've been interested in. And I like seeing, especially once I understood modern Korean culture a bit more, I really like learning about the things that obviously affect the way Korean people are now, like Confucianism, Hangul, things like that. It's the oldest extant book printed with the metal movable type. And coming from Europe, I was always told correctly that it was Europe that invented the printing press. But we were never told that without this invention from Korea, the printing press couldn't have been made. And I think most people can agree the printing press was probably the most important invention, probably of our history. And to me, that was the first thing I really learned about Korean history that shocked me. I think it's quite a shame that, at least English people don't learn the part Korea played in such an important invention. A lot of English history that we get taught is about Europe, because that's where we were mostly involved. Even though English people were in the Korean War, it doesn't really talk about it. So most English people know Korea exists, obviously, but really don't know much about it at all. Thanks to maybe the Korean War and things like the Japanese imperialism, I think a lot of people think of Korea as a victim country. And therefore, when I introduce things about Korea, like its rapid economic development or its great inventions and the things it's given to the world, people kind of find it hard to believe at first, because they have this stereotype of Korea as a victim. So that's kind of hard to begin with. But I'm gonna try hard, so. And I'd quite like to work in the field of international relations and try and sort of bring our countries closer together through understanding. Obviously, there's lots of things about our cultures that are different, and that's fine. We don't need to become more like one another. But I think if we could understand each other more, and therefore not misunderstand each other if somebody does something that maybe one person thinks rude, I think that in the future we can have this really harmonious relationship where we accept our differences and embrace our similarities. So I'd like to be somebody who contributes to that in the future. Be proud of Korean culture and learn about it, because it's important to share it. It's so important to be proud of your history and your culture. and foreigners are going to be interested in it. There's not just people aren't just interested in Hallyu and K-pop. So I think if Korean people really want to share Korean culture, then they should just do it because people are going to listen.